Hi, I'm Shawn Rogers, Vice President of Research for Enterprise Management Associates, and I'm here today at the Pacific Northwest BI Summit in warm and breezy Oregon. Having a great time. I'm here with my friend, Bob Eve. Nice to see you, Bob.
Good to see you, Shawn.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to our conversation. I always like talking about innovative technology, and as you know from our previous conversations, I've always been a fan of data virtualization, and I thought maybe we could pick up the conversation today around how you see adoption evolving and how you see the uptake. I think things are positive for data virtualization, but I'm curious on your perspective today.
Yeah, data virtualization's been around about 10 years, but the adoption's been accelerating lately. Analyst firms like you guys have numbers out on that, 20 to 27% adoption, and even in those companies, it's really the first use cases, so there's a lot more adoption that will occur in those firms. Wayne Eckerson over at Tech Target just came out with a new report, talked about another 33% adoption in the next 18 months. So definitely acceleration.
Yep, doesn't surprise me. So what's behind it? What do you see as a driver to that? You know, like you said, 10-year-old technology, great technology. It's been evolving, but all of a sudden there's this great uptick. What's your take on the move forward?
Yeah, fundamentally I think there's two drivers. The first one is a business one, the second one's technology. Let me focus on the business first. If you think about what's really going on in businesses today, it's a race. It's a real challenge of who can leverage their data. Those folks will be the leaders, and those who can't are going to fall behind. So agility is critical, and the traditional data warehouse model is anything but agile. So I think firms are looking at data virtualization as a way to accelerate their projects, get business the information faster. So for example, at Qualcomm, they now talk about hours and days, not weeks and months. Pfizer talks about executive information requests resolved 10 times faster. So that's the real business driver.
Okay. From the technical aspect of this conversation, it is very much twofold, and I agree with you. So business has their necessities. What is IT seen as an agility or flexibility or speed to solution aspect of it?
Well, I think the big thing is just this data proliferation that's occurring. We all know about the volumes of data increasing, but think about how distributed it is these days. It's not just in the warehouse now. It's out in the cloud. It's out at Amazon. It's in the SaaS systems, Workday, Salesforce. These data warehouse appliances have proliferated as well over the last several years. So now what happens when you have data in multiple places, but you have a business problem that needs data from all of them? You want to drive more revenue, cut your costs, meet some compliance requirements. So the only answer in that case is data virtualization.
Okay, well, and that makes sense. Now you just mentioned a couple of big name companies, and I know Composite has a lot of really good references. You also wrote a book a while back with a mutual friend of ours and published a great kind of group of case studies from that. So share a couple of ways people are leveraging data virtualization to get to the goals that we've been talking about.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting, the data virtualization adoption. The book's about a year and a half old, and so I thought I'd actually think about the cases that have occurred since then.
Okay, that's fine.
The new buyers.
Sure.
And I think there's kind of the project level adoption, and then there's kind of an architectural level adoption as well, a data management architecture. I think on the project side, I got a list here. I'll just list a few of them. Capital markets, federated risk reporting, R&D informatics, consolidated view of positions and trades, customer data services. So a lot of pulling together diverse data sets for some real important reporting requirements.
More complex than you saw several years ago in their approach and number of data sources and hurdles to jump over to access the information?
Right, and I think a couple of years ago they might have tried, well, let's try to do it with the MARC yet again. We'll keep doing it that way. Right. But the technology and the agility are just getting, the agility requirements the technology needs are just getting so diverse that data virtualization is really helping them.
I think I know the answer to this question. Is there any new news or any exciting things happening at Composite Software?
There are. On June 20th, Cisco announced that they were their intention to acquire Composite Software. Let me get the terms right. And that deal will close in the next several months, and so we're really excited about that. And we think that our customers will be excited about it as well, because it lets us have more capital for to improve the product and continue to grow the capabilities because of these requirements are continuing to expand. And it gives us a more global coverage in terms of service and support and sales, and so we'll be able to help our customers a lot more that way as well.
Yeah, well, I'll say as an analyst and being here with a bunch of different analysts and other people from the industry at the program, this is one of those acquisitions that made sense from the get-go, and I don't think anyone was scratching their head. This makes sense, and it seemed like a very strategic move for Cisco and for you as well, so I wish you the best when the deal comes to the proper end. So fantastic.
Thank you.
It's good to have you here.
You as well.
Nice to see you.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is Shawn Rogers signing off from the Pacific Northwest BI Summit in Oregon.